Frank.
Dynamite.
Frank, come on, man. Can I Be Frank is all about capturing real, authentic, unedited conversation.
You can see how much room you have there. Can you see yourself?
So was he always a teacher?
No, so he's back to teaching in, he's going back to study.
Okay, oh.
So he's doing a master's or whatever you do down in Limerick, the real deal, like. So he's
Okay.
and Emmett is, actually, did I put this on? Emmett is...
He's a band.
He's a band, and he's still got the band. Where is the other piece? He's still got the band, and they're launching a new single, but he's back. He's got a full-time job.
Okay.
And
So where's he working?
he's an MD. It's a serious role.
Oh.
Yeah, MD of a marketing agency.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a huge welcome to Miss Emma Doran!
How are you? You all good?
So it's a marketing agency in town.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's a serious like, as opposed to
Proper
this
job.
Proper job, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he likes it. I think he was ready for it to go back after he's
Because he had a baby.
2 babies, yeah.
Oh, 2 babies. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
because he was having a baby soon last year, wasn't he?
Neve was about to pop at
Yes.
when we were doing our last show, and he went like, and it was myself and Connor going to do the show, and it was kind of all that, like, it was just mental like that. You know, he's so he's doing that. Alan took 9 months off. He got
Because I saw a
redundancy.
bit of his.
Yeah.
Redundancy. And he did stand up.
He did stand up, I know.
Yeah. Because I did see his name somewhere. And I was like, but then I never saw any pictures or anything to do with it. And I was like, oh, maybe he didn't do it, because a lot of time people sign up for that gig and don't end up going. But
No,
he did do it.
Yeah, he did do it. And I put a little snippets, like, it is good. I mean,
Yeah,
for his
yeah.
first time in front of, you know, a live audience, to me, like, so we both did the course together, and I dropped out after 7 weeks.
Oh, really?
I couldn't do it.
Why?
Nerves.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely, totally. Just the idea. So what I had a sketch. I had this little mad routine, and I did it once in front of the class.
Right.
And I got a laugh, like, and it
Okay.
was a natural, real laugh, as much as it can be in those type of environments. And she gave me some pointers, and in a way, I wasn't really.
Who was she?
Oh, she's kind of well known. She does. She's a comedy teacher anyway. I don't know her name. But
Sharon? No?
Sharon.
Mannion?
Yeah, she's.
Oh, yeah, I know her. Blonde hair.
Yeah, she's very nice. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, from Roscommon. Is she?
Yeah, she was pregnant at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I know really well.
And so she was like, she was.
I know.
You know her really well.
So many levels now. Okay.
Okay, well, so
But
it'd be interesting.
To be honest.
Okay. No, I thought she was really good, and I thought, now I had a kind of fixed notion in my mind. She said not to have a fixed notion, but I couldn't get rid of my fixed idea.
Yeah, well, that's good advice, yeah.
And so I went in with that, and even though she says, you know, start again, I still kept that in my back burner. And then when I did my routine, which was, I was doing a voice, like, I was really...
It was the whole thing, was it? It was the whole shtick.
Yeah, well, I had to do an actual proper... I was doing a proper routine of... it was a conversation with God and the Pope. And so, but my God was this really camp... by any sexual sort of total fucking chaotic nutjob who just loved mentalness and chaos, and he had a lisp, right?
Yeah.
And so it was definitely hard to start with that, right? Stand up in front of the class to be the Pope and God at the same time. But anyway, I got the laugh. And then at the end of it, she was kind of... she definitely was. By looking at her face, she was going, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
But her feedback was nice, and I think in her mind she's probably saying, which I felt was, maybe this is more of a sketch for... This isn't a stand-up routine, but
Right,
still...
okay.
Anyway, she gave me the feedback, And then the next week I had to get up and present. I'd do it again. Now, I just couldn't get my head around the fact that I was presenting the same thing to everybody who'd seen it the week before. So any laughter or anything is not real. And I was just so totally uncomfortable with that. I actually just thought, I think I died in the middle of it. Not that I couldn't get the words out, but I totally, choked. But I muscled it on through it. Yeah. And at the end of it, she said, well, no, that's the gig. That's what you got. You have to repeat your stuff. Yeah. But to me, it didn't seem true or real to me. Yeah. The way I like it.
Oh, yeah. But stand-up is totally false, so yeah.
Yeah, it's even. But you have to give the impression.
I never did a course now, but
did you not?
No, but I think it's one of those things people just do the course to kind of admit to themselves that they want to do it.
Yeah,
that's my theory on it. Anyway, when you do those courses, you're kind of.
Yeah, well, it is. I suppose. Well, it's kind of like the permission to do it, isn't it?
Yeah, because it is kind of an awkward one because you might feel. If you say you want to do it, people are going to assume, okay, well, obviously they think they're hilarious.
Yeah.
And then it's like the whole attention-seeking thing as well, because you want to stand on stage on your own and want people to listen to you and find you funny.
Yeah.
So I think
and like you.
And
well,
like
find you funny probably most of all.
Yeah, find you funny, listen to you, probably like you as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of.
It's too much.
It's a lot, so I think that's why a lot of people do a course to kind of ease into.
Yeah, to get over
that.
But
what I'm saying is, you might have been better if you just went ahead and did it.
Yeah, well, sometimes I would think about it just that if I didn't get, because she was giving me the advice to change it, and it was reasonable to of course, how do you think you're perfect? If you are that perfect, just go and do it. And she actually did say that to somebody at one stage.
Oh yeah.
If you really think you're good enough, just go and do it. You don't need me. But she gave the advice, and to me, I was kind of going, any kind of possibility of self-doubt I was looking for almost to get at. So if she was giving me any kind of criticism and any kind of good comments, I just went straight for the so she says I should do this, and then I tried to change it to what she thought it should be, and that's where it just collapsed for me, because I thought, well, so who am I doing this for now? I'm doing it because you think it's funny, as opposed to me thinking it's funny. I don't think what you said is funny, but I didn't have the confidence to.
You're confusing all these things that you initially start that you think of yourself and are self-indulgent. It always turns out to be for the other people. That's what stand-up is all about. It's for the audience.
Yeah.
So it's real. I need to find something that's just purely for me, nobody else. Because you'd start worrying about the audience then.
Yeah, I would have, yeah. And there's times where that feeling of not giving a fuck, right?
Yeah.
And that's the freedom. As spoken to a few, in a way, if you can somehow, you don't seem to give a fuck. Do you not?
No, I don't. Well, about what?
Well, the whole lot in a way, but and I don't mean that in it's not a fuck you attitude, but you seem to me, I was looking at a few bits and bobs, you seem relaxed, you don't seem to have.
I am relaxed.
I have to tell you something though, I'm absolutely knackered. I really am. You would not believe the amount of hand jobs I had to give to get this gig. Oh, it's quite a big crew, Al's took a while, obviously.
Well, I'm hardly strung at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm very, a bit ambitious and, what's the word? Competitive with myself, that kind of thing. But I am very relaxed because I always think, I have my family, they're all cool and happy and everything. And I think, I can't control stuff, so forget about it. I'm actually at ease. I probably function best when I'm under pressure or when everything is out of my control. Because then I'm like, well, what can I do about it? This is just a tiny thing, but when I was pregnant, and this sounds so silly, but my dog got pregnant at the same time. Well, a little bit after, but I had my son and then she had puppies 3 weeks later. So the house was pretty... She was a small dog, but she had 5 puppies.
Oh my God.
So it was mad. And people called to the house, they're like, are you okay? Like,
Yeah.
are you okay? And I was just like, yeah, I'm grand. Because I was just like,
There's nothing you can do.
what can I do? Like, I'm not going to put the dogs in a bag. Do you know?
Yeah, and I mean, that wouldn't have been unreasonable.
Yeah.
There's just not
It
that
was,
many bogs close by.
Yeah, it's like, sure, what can I do?
But what about the whole fucking tea?
Like, if it's something that will pass, if it's a phase that will pass, I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
So you don't get that, like, oh, this is going to... What about stage thing? You don't get... When you go up on stage?
Oh, yeah, no, I would get stage fright. I think if you don't, you should just... There would be varying levels. Like, say if I had a gig and it was like 15 people, I'm not going to be like fucking shitting outside.
Which
you know what I
probably
mean?
were at the very start, though.
Oh, yeah, totally. Like, my first gig would have been about 15 people. And
Yeah.
I was really nervous. I think I turned up the play. I hadn't even started. They hadn't even, like, put up the mic or anything. I'm always early for gigs
Yeah.
all the time. And, I would have been really nervous. But different gigs, there'd be different levels of nerves. So now if I was doing, like, an open mic and there was 15 people, I wouldn't be nervous, like pre-exam nervous, but I'd have a little something going on inside that I know it's not the same as when I'm just sitting watching TV. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Oh, yeah, well, you see, for me, like, with the course even, I would have been nervous for a week. So I'd probably get a little bit of relief after the class was over.
Yes.
And then, say the class was on a Wednesday, by Friday I'd be thinking about the following Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I'd start to feel ill. So then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, nerves would build up.
Well, I still would get, I'd have to go to the toilet before I have a gig.
Yeah.
And I've talked to loads of people about this. Like, somebody said to me, I had to run into that pub and do my pre-gig poo. Like, and there's someone who's doing it like years. But
Yeah.
it's just,
But
it does
yeah,
something
but
to your brain and your body. So there is some sort of, like, reaction.
there is. That's a
Yeah.
stress, though, is it? And somebody
Yeah.
said it's your body preparing itself. Somebody said that to me once. Oh, that's your body preparing itself to perform.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought, okay, well, that worked for like a minute or two. I thought, oh, well, that's kind of a nice way to look at it.
Yeah.
It doesn't change the fact that it's still down in your system, that nerves.
Yeah.
I don't want...
How did you feel after? Was it worth the...
In the end, you see, it wasn't. You see, I suppose that's where I kind of... It's interesting you say I should have just done it, gone up stage or gone on somewhere and just done the whole thing. But
You probably need to just go and do it and not kind of overanalyze or analyze it yourself, probably.
yeah, well, you see, I would totally analyse things to the fucking end. And so then it would be a case of getting over myself, I think, if I was to try and do something like that. And that's difficult enough, like.
You do have to let go a little bit, yeah.
You have to let go.
Yeah, you can't control it.
Yeah, well, like... Yeah, you can't control it.
No, you can't control it at all.
But I would have always tried to. I think you see, I knew that once, if you could have just shipped me right to the stage where no thinking for the week or two,
Yeah.
then the actual being there, I'd be grand. I think I'd be grand because I'm in hell, or I'm in the shit, or I'm in whatever,
Yeah.
and that moment in time is fine. But 2 weeks of nerves beforehand.
And the gig then that...
I didn't do the...
You didn't, but was that organised by the course? Did
Yeah.
everyone in the course then do that?
Everybody
gig?
that stayed did it, yeah.
Right. Oh, was there a big dropout rate?
Well, I wasn't the only one,
Right.
thankfully, but
Yeah.
I think maybe it started with 10, and as each week went by, 1 or 2 dropped off. So maybe it was 6 in the end. I don't know.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
probably average, though, is it?
Probably
maybe?
is, yeah. I did an acting one as well, though, and in the end, the whole fucking... I think the
Would you like
performance...
to do acting?
I just couldn't... I could do it maybe in... See, I was able to do the Go Live thing because, there was no... In my mind, it wasn't... Whilst there would have been people here in the room, mostly I knew them or was somewhat comfortable with
Yeah.
them, or, or got a nice vibe off them. So... And I never thought about that thing in the room,
Oh,
like
yeah.
that little small add-on. But then the whole getting up on stage, and I wouldn't be interested in doing theatre, acting, or whatever.
Okay.
And then you see, it's an awful fucking slog, like. And then there's so much you don't control. So I obviously like to control an awful lot, you see. And that's why it makes it very difficult, maybe. to the letting go lark.
Yeah. Acting is a horrible one, I think.
A horrible one.
Well, not a horrible one, but in terms of the whole like rejection thing, because you only get a little bit of it with comedy, because you wouldn't obviously get as many auditions as an actor.
Yeah.
I assume when you're an actor, you get sent for all sorts of auditions, whereas comedy, it's probably just comedy stuff, or people have kind of picked a few comedians or comedy people that they want to meet. So I'd say the rejection, you probably get less opportunities, but so the rejection is probably less, whatever. But
I suppose that, but like for me, I don't think I'd be bothered by the rejection. I can't say for definite. I actually did one audition for this. This radio, this news talk advert.
Oh yeah.
And do you remember Father Feckett from Father Ted?
Which one was he?
He's
now?
a comedian. He's the guy with the hair that he was going Feckett and he's smoking cigarettes.
Joe Rooney.
Yeah. So he
yeah.
was there in the audition.
Oh yeah,
And I was sitting in there. I was totally blagging it. And the only thing that bothered me, it didn't bother me not getting it. It bothered me that I didn't give the best of myself because the nerves took over or whatever. That like it was fine.
But that's all part of it.
Yeah.
That's all part of it.
And you don't mind that though?
No, I do. I hate that.
Yeah.
I can get on with it, but I do. The rejection is... Now, I don't... Even though it is completely personal, I don't take it personally, but it is frustrating.
Yeah. But do you get bothered by the rejection, or do you get bothered by, I could have done that better?
No, I just get bothered by, the slog continues.
Yeah.
That's what I get. Because I don't... If somebody rejects me who doesn't know me or whatever, that doesn't really affect me. Only a certain amount of people are going to like you, and I know that I'm not one of those people that no one is ever going to say, she's too nice. I'm just not that person.
That's nice though.
But I know.
But so I think that's a really good thing. She's just so lovely.
No one's ever going to say that about me.
Well, that's nice though. I think. Do you not think? You don't want to be that though.
Oh, I couldn't.
Well, you couldn't be.
I couldn't. That's just not who I am. So I know only a certain percentage. There's going to be a percentage of people that like me, a percentage of people that hate me, and then a percentage of people that are just fucking indifferent. They're like, is that the one? No, that's not her. That's another one. We don't even know who the fuck I am.
Right.
But it's just the slog thing that gets me.
They keep going.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Because I have to get a job now as well.
Oh, do you?
I just have to get a job because the bank is just like...
Oh, no. I was wondering what the crack was.
Yeah, they're like, you basically... Your accounts, you look like a drug dealer, but a very bad one. So I was like, okay.
What, is that you just get...
no money. Everything's everywhere and there's just no money. So I was like, fine, so I'll have to get a job. But this is the problem. Because I've been doing it so long now, I'm destroyed. I've no filter now. I don't know if I can function.
Playing the game. How are you going to go back and play the game? You're not going to play the game, don't.
I know, I can't though. I don't think I can. I did have an interview.
And what about the dole? Can you not get the dole?
No, I can't because I've been
10 more kids or something like that.
No, I'm self-employed now.
Yeah.
I have been for the last few years, so you can't get it when you're self-employed.
Okay. Can you not? Why?
No.
But you would have played a minimal amount of PRSI over the last couple of years.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll look into it, but I don't think you can.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So what are you going to do?
I don't know. I went for, but like I'm always like something does usually like turn up or whatever. But I had an interview, and they asked me. I just was an interview for. I probably shouldn't be saying this soon as I'm still looking for fucking jobs.
Alan, when we did the thing with Alan, right? He actually said a humongous amount about the company that he was going to work for. So, and he was going, sure, I don't give a fuck. And then the next day he goes, actually, they're doing background checks, so maybe just take all that out. Anyway, but I don't think, unless I think it's fine. Unless you've got the job yet.
I went for an interview and they asked me about my computer skills.
Right.
But I hadn't put in like about Word and Excel and stuff because I just thought that was a given what I'd done. Like, I'd worked here for 4 years, of course I knew how to work the computer or whatever.
Yeah, I can turn it on, yeah.
And then I made some joke about, sure, I'm deadly at the internet. Ha ha ha.
That's funny.
But nobody laughed. And I was like, oh no, this is not make joke time, Emma. This is like do an interview.
But what was the job for?
It was like a receptionist job. It was like close to where I lived, so I was like, oh, that'll be grand. Like,
Yeah,
I can
easy.
do that. I can answer phones,
Yeah.
you know, and be pleasant for a few hours.
Hmm.
I can do
And
that.
you get a few bob, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I can do that. So that didn't work out. So, I don't know. Now, well, it's either like, and then this is the other thing that happened. I went for a job in my local Pennies. And I was like, can I do it? Like, can I...
There's a lot of material you get.
I
really,
know.
to be honest
So I
with you.
was like, that's the way I looked at it. I was like, oh, there'll be loads of material here. And I went to the interview and it was good. And I was chatting away to year one and it was all fine. I never heard back. And I'm like, what the fuck? I said to my mum.
Pennies.
Yes, I said to my mum. I was
I think that's great. You're
I was
unemployable, really.
like, I know. I was like, did I take a shit in the middle of the interview and I don't remember? Like, what happened? I was like, I thought it went well. So I'm screwed, basically.
Jesus. So when did you decide this?
Oh, just in the last couple of months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're taking your time, obviously. But you got a degree, didn't you?
I have a degree, yeah, and I've worked in proper jobs and stuff. So I think now I'm just gonna look at stuff that I'm really interested in and just see if I can make money out of it. Because I don't think I can do it any other way.
What
But,
do you
like,
mean
if
by
I
that now? Sorry.
Well, like now, say like the receptionist job or whatever, you know, I wouldn't have been interested in that, but maybe if I could get something that was like, you know, creative or whatever, that would be fine. Because I've never had a problem with jobs or anything. I've always had jobs, but I've just been doing comedy solely now for the last little while, and I'm like, oops. What am I gonna? Because it's hard in Ireland. See, because I wouldn't travel now I travel in Ireland. But I wouldn't be at this stage anyway. I wouldn't be like going over to Liverpool for weekends or Newcastle or wherever. Like, it just would be too much for me.
Is it with kids and all that?
Yeah, just with family and I think it's different if if your children are older or if you're on your own or whatever. But, or, you know, like say if you're in a relationship, like the two of you could go over and kind of make a weekend of it, and that, you know, that's all kind of different. But I don't know.
Oh, that's a fuck. I was wondering, like, and so what about you were getting a bit of work in RTE, weren't you, for a while?
Yeah, like I would always get bits and bobs, but there's even like, say, a great one for comedians always would have been Republic of Telly.
Yeah.
Because at least you could like send stuff into them, or, you know, you could send scripts into them or videos or whatever, or there was somewhere to kind of go with your comedy or whatever. But that's gone. So there's no real
There's no Republic of Telly anymore?
There's no Republic of Telly anymore. And there's nothing else really in its place. So all you can really do now is just send out like sitcom scripts or, you know, which is much bigger than just kind of getting a little...
And send them into Ireland.
Little part on something or whatever. So there's just less places to go now. With stuff.
But I would have thought in Ireland, I mean, you could, well, sure, I haven't a fucking clue.
What, you mean like a bit of a small market?
Well, yeah, trying to send stuff in RTE and all that. You obviously have ways in there, though, do you?
But I think what they would try to do now is that they try and team up with BBC or something and do it that kind of way.
Sorry, RTE will team up for production costs and stuff like that, is it?
Yeah.
But that's because they fucking spend so much money on big cameras and fancy shit. They don't need all that, you know? Anyway.
Yeah, so I don't know. Any advice from anyone who's welcome? If anyone's an expert on CV, I don't know. Maybe there's shit smeared on my CV and I don't realise.
Well, you've only tried pennies, Zach.
No, well, at the start I was just... I was like, maybe if I just got something close by part-time or whatever, that would be alright. No, like, to be honest, I haven't been totally breaking my fucking balls over it or whatever, but yeah, I'll get on it.
Yeah. Oh, you're fucked.
I know. I'm totally fucked.
Like this.
But
Sure, aren't ads for women's stuff great? Whether it's car insurance or feminine monthly care products, we just love having the crack.
man. Right. Thought you were going to just stay strong, like, but obviously it's just come to that.
Can't,
is it?
yeah,
you
can't. I
yeah.
can't, yeah. No, but I think what I'll do is I'll still do stand up and stuff, but I just need to get another job. Like everyone I know, they have another job, or they're on the dole or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I only know one or two people
Making a living.
well, not even making a living, but only doing that solely. But then a lot of people would, so say if they have families, they would be the at-home person then, you know, so they're really doing all that stuff. And then their partner would have a fairly secure job or whatever. Whereas I'm probably just a bit like, the people who I'd be saying, who are doing that now, I'd be like maybe like 10 years younger than them or whatever.
Yeah.
So they, you know, they would have kind of been able to do that when they were more established or whatever. In their life and in their comedy career, if that makes sense. So, yeah, maybe I'll go on the dole, I don't know.
Well, I have to get work. I'm getting work myself. Like I have to.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I have to get. I'm doing a bit of mentoring. So I do with.
What kind of mentoring?
Mentoring for startup businesses.
Oh, yeah.
So I advise a little bit about that, but I do it. I do it because I don't mind doing mentoring. It's kind of easy. I just say I kind of tell what I was up to. I have been up to, and
Right.
talk about the business that I've been involved in, and then it can be useful for people starting up a business. So, but
Okay.
I've done it kind of out of. I don't. You see, I think it's very difficult in anything creative that. I think if it is the sole focus, then in a way your life depends on it. Now you could say that's a good thing, but that will force, in a way, that could force you to compromise. And I think
Yes.
in compromising, you still have zero. You have much the same or less chance even of it being a success by compromising. And then the reason that you were doing it in the first place is for X, Y, for the crack, like for the expression of it.
Yeah, because I know some people who would be trying. Well, no, this wouldn't be stand-ups. Stand-ups would be different, but this would be, I know some people who do are solely just online, so they'd be like Snapchat stars or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Snapchat star. Like.
They'd be and but then you see, because basically that whole thing is fueled by brands and public appearances at events. But again, that's brands again.
Yeah.
So if you're kind of dependent on all these brands to get on board at you, it means you have to be careful then about what you say.
Yeah.
Or what you do. And I wouldn't be able to
No,
do
that's
that.
horrible,
Not that I'm
You're not obscene.
doing anything
no.
in particular, but I wouldn't want to have that in my head. Like, I understand that it's a business and all that, but I think for me then that would just be making your creative too
Restrained.
too like
But you're
corporate
taking
or
the
whatever.
but you're taking the joy out of it, and like really, then if you do say you are earning a few bob, say you earned a good few bob, but you're not kind of doing something that you're proud of, or your self-expression, or even like something that you kind of dig yourself, then she might as well just have a job in an office. No, is it not? It's
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not a fucking purist.
no,
Like
I know that.
obviously.
Yeah.
But
You will work for HBO, like if the opportunity
course.
comes along.
If anyone wants me to, like, I've done the ads, I'll do the fucking ads. I don't give a shit. Like, if anyone wants me in a Tesco ad, I'll do it,
That's true.
whatever.
Yeah.
But
Pennies that would be great
pennies,
too.
that would be great. A few vouchers as well would be
Yeah.
great. But if it means, like, I'd have to change the kind of jokes that I do or what I could say about something, I'm just like, you know, it's for me now that's just too much effort. Or even like the Snapchat thing of updating people about like, what am I'm doing absolutely fuck all. Like, I'm getting in my car, I'm getting out of my car, I'm in my house, I'm going somewhere, I'm not going somewhere, like I'm doing fuck all. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
I think that'd be funny though. I think you should definitely do that.
Somebody said that to me.
So-
I bet that would be funny. I'm like, it wouldn't. It
No.
might be funny for about 5 minutes.
So I'm just making a cup of tea here now.
That's all it would
Because
be.
people do that.
I know, but I don't have that thing, you know. And this is before any like Snatch Up or anything. I don't have that thing to take a photo. I'm terrible. I'll go somewhere and I'll like go, there's one blurry picture. That's what happened. Like I have to rely on other people, so I don't have that thing to turn to the immediate. I have to, that's why anything,
think about it a little bit.
Anything I do is like, well, most of it, is pre-recorded. I don't have that thing to
that
get
relentlessness of putting yourself out there too, though, like that. You know,
well, I think
we should get one now, like right now here.
Oh, well, that's the
we'll
thing.
go live right now on Instagram and be here like
but
this,
this
like.
is the thing. There's some people that are great when they meet somebody. They're great at taking selfies.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't do
I'd
that.
just be too embarrassed to do
I
that,
mean,
and I wouldn't. This is enough. Like it's a bit of banter, There's a bit of banter, and I forget that yoke there, right?
Yeah.
And I love having the banter anyway, so it's banter, right?
Yeah.
But the idea of us then just going, okay, look, being so fucking blatant, wouldn't it be
It's
just
too much. I think now there's probably about 3 or 4 people who I'd look to get a selfie with in the planet.
Yeah, go on. Who are they?
Well, I don't know. Like maybe
The Pitt, Brad Pitt? No.
No. Do you know who I would now if I saw him out in the street? If I went outside and I saw Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Because I met him.
I would as well.
I met him before when I was a teenager when he was doing, is it intermission?
Yeah.
So we'd have a bit of crack. We'd have a bit of gas right there and I talked to him. So I'd
Were
ask
you
him.
in intermission?
No.
No, you
No, I
weren't,
was
okay.
in school. I just
Yeah. Okay.
walked past when they were filming it. And then who else? Maybe
Cillian Murphy?
No.
Did you say Megan? Who were you going to say?
Maybe if I was pissed and I saw Jedward, I might go, come on. Because I could show it to my daughter the next day. It'd be kind of funny.
Yeah.
Michael D. Higgins.
Okay, interesting one, yeah.
I think that's it then.
Yeah.
I don't think...
You've never been into any of the actors and all that, but that's fucking blown up in the air anyway.
Well, like loads of them I admire and think they're great, but I don't... I'd prefer to just enjoy the moment.
And be cool about it.
And then I
as
can...
well.
not even... I'm just not a photo person. And then the thing is as well, my memory can play tricks on me over time. Like it has now when I met Colin Farrell. I'm like, there was something there. There wasn't anything there. I was in my school uniform. But because I didn't document
There was something there. Don't fucking ruin it.
Well, because I didn't document it, I can look back at that any way I want.
Yeah.
Sometimes I see people take pictures with somebody and then like say the celebrity or whatever is doing like this kind of thing or like, and I'm like, oh, it looks so like you thought you were friends with this person. They're just like another fucking selfie.
Yeah.
So I prefer not to document it and just let my imagination.
With you and Colin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Emma Farrell.
Farrell, yeah. So,
You did never try the signature or anything like that, no?
No. I only really liked him when he was in Ballykiss Angel. And then when he started kind of going to all the interviews with the bears all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck this, fuck that. I was like, oh, I thought that was a bit try hard. So I kind of went off him a bit then. But I'm back on form.
It's pretty cool now, really.
Yeah,
He's
we're
settled
kind
down
of at a
and all that,
level now where it's just like, look, Colin, we've grown up.
Yeah.
We've all chilled out a bit.
We've all had our fun. It's time to settle down.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
ready
right.
now. Just
Yeah.
remember what we agreed
Yeah.
all those years ago.
Yeah. So we're fine. It's fine now.
I mean, that would sort out the job front as well. So Colin, like...
Oh no, like I'm independent. I go back to Pennies and try and get the part.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, exactly.
But,
Totally.
Yeah. I mean,
You
he'd
might-
be away a lot, so I mean, just
Well, I think he's
keep me out
easing
of
up on...
trouble.
I think he's easing up on the acting now. I think I read
think
something
so.
about that.
Yeah. Well, sure, we'll see. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of things to iron out, but
Yeah. Yeah. And tell me this, what do you
Fine.
think? What do you think of that whole acting, the Weinstein, all that shit? Like, do you give a shit about any of that? Is that's too fucking...
I'm not surprised by it.
Yeah.
What do I think about it?
Do you give a shit, like, or when you
No,
look...
I do, because actually, me and Shane were talking about it the other night, and he did actually say it was an eye opener for him in a way, or just like the floods of people coming out, with all this kind of stuff. And we were just talking about the fact that if you're female, you do have to occupy the planet in a different way. Because I was saying to him, like, I would never be out at night and have 2 headphones in. I'd always have one because I'd always be conscious or whatever. And he was like, oh yeah, eating, like, okay, obviously there's the serious end, but even just the way you go about your daily life in the world is different.
It's more braced.
And then we were kind of talking about, well, why is that? Is that because of being conditioned, or is it from your parent? Is it socially? Where does it start? Whatever. Then we fell asleep on the couch, but we did have a bit of a chat about it. All right, because my daughter is 14. Actually, 'cause she said something the other day. No, it was just a jokey thing, but she was talking about her and her friend going somewhere. She's like, oh, like as if we'd walk down that laneway at night, sure, you'd end up getting, she said you'd end up getting assaulted.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder what her 14-year-old male contemporary have thought that. So I was like, oh, she's already conditioned to think like that.
Now, and it's better that she is.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? I'm kind
fair.
of like, now where does that come from? Does that come from me, or does that come from just being on the planet as a female, that you just pick up things,
Yeah. I suppose.
So it's just interesting, it's just, the way like those studies they do on babies where they tell people that's a boy, so that people go in and start handing them the trucks and telling them they're strong, and then it's the same kid each time, and then they just put a dress on them, and people go and say, oh, you're gorgeous, start giving them the dolls or whatever. So people
I heard about this. Is this kind of gender thingy?
Yeah. Now don't get me, I'm not gender neutral or anything like that, but it was just from such an early age, you do pick up stuff about how you're meant to behave as a male or female on the planet. But Weinstein thing, pretty puke-inducing.
Well, sorry, that is really interesting.
But I do truly believe every female on the planet has been sexually assaulted in some way.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, from any chats I've had, that's
yeah.
the case,
And then Jerry was just kind of playing devil's advocate, and he says, well, of course, he has been groped on a night out. And I said, yeah, but he knows what he's saying. He's trying to
yeah.
And I said, you haven't been groped by somebody who's physically bigger and stronger than you and can physically rape you. I was like, obviously men do get raped.
They do, yeah.
But it's, even just physiologically, it's harder. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I think dudes mostly on the night out, if they get groped, they'd probably go, I got groped. Delighted with themselves.
Yeah,
probably. They're not going to go, I feel violated.
Well, it probably, it's terrible because I'm speaking for them, but I don't think it would be a regular...
no, it's not really.
I don't think it would be something that would be happening to every guy all the time.
No, I mean, for some of us... it could be tough.
I know, you've talked about it a lot.
Hard not to get distracted by all those lovely pink products that are now available for us girls. Finally. When we're not sitting around with our mates laughing at nothing, you can catch us skipping down the road, laughing at nothing. I'll be wearing my white jeans, of course, just to prove how deadly my feminine monthly care product is. Oh yeah, actually, I better check that. If you can't find me after all of that, I'll probably be sitting down somewhere, laughing at nothing, stroking my legs, because I've just shaved them.
Bad experiences before, so then, people, it starts to psychologically damage people. Maybe it's fucking me. So, they're clever. They're clever people,
Yeah, and so how do you think then, for...
I don't know. This is just me talking shite.
I'm sure I haven't a fucking clue either. But the big thing, though, I think nowadays is that we should be able to just, you should be able to just sit whatever the fuck you want. Still be open to the possibility, of that tomorrow I may totally change my mind on something. I may hear an alternative perspective.
I'm a big fan of that.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking think so. But then there's this thing of...
Everyone hold you to something you said. I mean, that's... Yeah, I would have to say that to people sometimes. Like obviously, say if you talked to me tomorrow...
Yeah.
That would be completely different.
Yeah.
Version. It's just a different day.
It is, yeah. It's different every fucking...
How was my... it all depends on how I slept that night, how my morning was,
It's like this fucking thing. I was thinking actually in the way about this... it was a nice morning this morning, right? It was blue sky, and you just go, oh, it's a lovely, positive fucking, positive feelings day. And I was kind of going, well, it's grand,
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
But this idea of, constantly positive thinking and constantly in and constantly in great form. You know, this thing of, I mean, is that not absolute utter bullshit? But I might be in great form today, and I'll, you know, think X and Y is amazing. Tomorrow I go, oh,
I know. Well, it could be a great form for this hour.
yeah,
And then something can happen to piss me off or whatever.
yeah,
Or whatever. Nothing.
yeah.
Doesn't take
Nothing.
much.
No.
Yeah, she does. I recently turned 28. Delighted with myself, thank you. Yeah, about 34 months ago. Yeah. It's grand, no ring. It's fine. Doesn't bother me. It's grand, honestly. But
To put me in a pisser. But I'm like that all the time.
Yeah, I'm not dissimilar myself now, but you see, there was this thing, and I never really fucking put things up on Facebook that are personal or that I.
Oh, yeah.
Apart from this.
Or
Political, but I put something
Yeah.
up about George Hook, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now,
Oh, yeah. What? Yeah. go
I
on.
judged it on the merits of everything that I knew. Without, I don't know what he's like as a person. I don't
Yeah.
know if he's a bully continuously to all the women in there. I don't know if the whole thing is just a lads club full of dickheads. I don't like networks. I don't participate in anything that's where there's loads of people together, because most likely loads of people get together in a power structure. They're all fucking dickheads and they're all patting the backs and all that shit. But I judge it on 76-year-old dude, man, in a role trying to provoke somebody. Obviously, he got it wrong. He said, I'm really, really sorry. And it just wasn't acceptable. And it was because I saw a couple of people, again, coming up, and they just wanted... It's like as if all the injustices at once, he got the brunt of it. Now, I'm not saying... I'm totally not defending what he said. It spoke for itself how stupid it was.
Yeah.
But then people do have that conversation as well about it, and should feel free to have that conversation without if, in other words, if you give your opinion, you hear mine, and then you go, oh, okay, well, yeah, I'm probably wrong about that. Like, I'm not definitely right about George Hook, but that's my perspective on it. But it's this thing of, oh, he changed his view the next day and said sorry. Is it enough, like?
Well, it depends on the issue. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll put it to you this way: if he had been kind of shown compassion or empathy with a paedophile, and then the next day it changed his opinion,
Yeah.
how would you have felt about that?
Well, I can't argue with that. Like, even so. I mean, I have no...
You know, it has to.
Yeah,
I
can't...
totally agree with what you're saying,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
to a point.
Yeah, and I think, I
And
suppose...
I'm not comparing the two, but you know what I mean. I'm just using that as.
Well, it's
as
more,
an
I suppose,
example.
maybe the main
Sometimes
point
I
I was trying to make was, in my own way, that you should be able to say somebody who he hasn't done wrong, okay, he's said wrong, you should be able to make that expression. And I think a big part of it was trying to ask something provocative for radio and the nature of the job, and that's what he's always kind of done. Now, he got it totally wrong.
Well, that was what he was employed for, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's because that's what they wanted him to do.
Yeah.
What did he say again?
What he said was, now I'm probably watering it down, so that's not necessarily a good thing, but what he said
Yeah.
was, the girl got raped. Basically, I think she went home with this
did
lad.
she not have
She
any
had sex with him, and then he left the room, and the maid came in and raped her, right?
Right.
And he said that when does responsibility kick in for a girl going home to a stranger's house? That was the question. I think that was the nuts and bolts of it. And then everybody rightly said, where the fuck you come from? Can a girl not go and do something like that without risk of that? And he backed down immediately and all that. Now, that was a 76-year-old man, grandparent. Like, I suppose the reason I don't stick in the knife is I grew up, my father said all gays are totally against nature. They're the worst on the fucking planet, and in the animal kingdom they're excluded. they should be they're excluding the animal kingdom. This is what I was brought up with from my
Right.
father. Now he
Which
learned
isn't
that.
true, actually.
No,
The
it's not.
animal kingdom.
Oh, sure, I know it's not
Yeah.
true. Sorry.
So this is what he's going for
No,
you, like.
but that's what I grew up with, that
Okay.
idea from my father. No,
Oh.
he wasn't. My dad wasn't. He was just wasn't educated.
Right, yeah.
It's just totally
And
an
it's just the
ignorant
generation
person,
he grew
a
up.
generation thing. And
Yeah.
like, it just so happened that I had a mate who was 16 who was gay, so I instantly could see that was just totally false.
Okay, yeah, cool.
But I'm saying to you, he didn't have that when he was growing up, and I suppose I'm less, because I think an older dude, there should be a slight leeway.
So you'd be a bit more worried if
That doesn't
a
exist.
younger presenter had made that comment.
I think if a younger presenter had made that comment,
You'd be worried.
well, I think it would show no evolution whatsoever. I think,
Yeah.
but yeah, what do you like?
Well, I understand what you're
Would
saying.
you fire him?
But your dad isn't a broadcaster,
No, he's not. No.
so he doesn't have that responsibility.
So if you ask an owl fella how he is, he'll answer.
Grand.
Now, grand can mean anywhere from on death's door to absolutely fantastic flying it. But what you do know from grand is it means he doesn't want to talk to you and he's trying to get rid of you.
Anyway,
Say if there's certain things that I can say when I'm doing stand-up
yeah,
that I would never say
on TV.
on TV, but out of context of stand-up.
Yeah,
So even like, when people put up, and I've done it myself, and people put up snippets of their stand-up, you're never going to get the real feeling of being there live. And I would say stuff that, like, say I have a joke where I say, no, I won't even bother, because
Go on.
well, I have a joke where I say, I start off and I say, I crashed my car and I hit a cyclist, and it's like I'm doing it really like deadpan, really upset, and I say, but thank God there was no one around, so I just drove off. So I do. So that's like my opener joke,
Yeah.
to let people know, look, this is the kind of thing we're going into,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
But I would never say that in an interview at a radio station, because it's just not appropriate. So I think
you probably would get away with it next. People know you more and more, or know your
but
style.
there's lots of stuff.
I know. Sorry, I totally know
Like
the
now,
point you're making.
yeah, there's certain jokes I would do on stage that I could bring to an interview or whatever, or I could write them down in black and white. They would be fine. But there's certain things I couldn't say. Now, if he had said that in the office, and he was trying to play devil's advocate,
Yeah.
and people were like, whoa, George, back the fuck up. And
Yeah.
people went to the boss and said, we were talking about this thing in the production meeting, and yeah, I think George might have been taken aside and said, George, that's not acceptable or whatever. But he didn't say it in the production meeting. He said it live on air.
Yeah.
And I think in that instance you've got there's a certain responsibility.
Yeah.
I
don't disagree now.
Yeah, but do I think they totally like, he was bound to say something eventually, because they had built him up into this character that was
Yeah, and it was okay to say shit.
So
yeah.
he was gonna fucking say something eventually about something.
Yeah.
And I just think sometimes you can get away with saying certain things on certain platforms and not on others. Now, if he had said that on a late night talk show, could that have been different? I think he would have got reprimanded for what he said, regardless of where he said it.
Yeah.
Even if he said it down the pub and he happened to be in the company of somebody who wanted to pick him, whatever. But I just think where he chose to say it, I think, was his issue.
Yeah, I suppose, and it was a totally horrendous, zero empathy sort of comment, I suppose. But yeah, it's yeah, I suppose he should
But
have
he's
just known
coming
better.
back
Really.
anyway.
Well, I think
He's
he's got
got
some
a
sort
show.
of a Saturday yoke, but like he's.
I would say no to Saturday, yo.
Well, I know
I'm
you
looking for a
would.
job.
Well, you actually news talk. I mean, why the fuck you should get it? You'd be way
know.
better than him.
I know, yeah.
Actually, I should get it.
Freak.
To be fair,
You would, because you're a man or something. No,
yeah, I mean, to be fair, I am male, so I
I'd
mean,
say it was total. I'd say it was a horrific time for him or whatever. But
yeah,
that's the risk you take, isn't it? If you're going to take that big gig
yeah, fucking
know?
up like that. Yeah, I
with
suppose.
that
Yeah,
cash, there's got to be some. There's got to be some drawbacks to that.
it's funny. I don't know.
And
like
I would have thought, to be honest, it would be easier to watch what you say no matter what your beliefs are, because nobody really knows what Miriam or Ryan or whoever thinks about anything in the privacy of their own home. But I would have thought it would have been easier to watch what you say as an interviewer rather than an interviewee.
Yeah, there's no question.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And so then it begs the question, is he speaking free fall? So obviously, you know, we've loads of notes here and we're using our notes now, but but he definitely had notes, and he's definitely a list of questions. Is he so he's not, and especially with a sensitive topic like that, does he know beforehand these are the questions and I'll ask this one to get a reaction?
Well,
and so does the producer go, go for it.
No, not even on, leave that topic aside, but if somebody did an interview and they said something mad or whatever, I would actually have a bit of sympathy for them, because I have done interviews and I'll do it today and I'll come out and I have no fucking idea what I said about anything, and I do understand how that happens or how you're led in a particular direction or whatever, you know. But I mean, he's totally in control of that situation, and he's doing it a long time. He's not a novice at it or whatever. So, you know,
I don't feel sorry for him really now for whatever reason. Just talking through. But
it's not one of your dad's mates down the pub.
Yeah.
You know, it's not. I understand.
I kind of felt sorry for the idea that he's 76 and he got it wrong, and that he had this whole career, and I kind of felt that I tell you, this is the only thing. A lot
of us think of like our dad or the uncle or
whatever, stupid uncle like
who's harmless or whatever and says something mad about whatever group or whatever issue, but he has to be
raise the bar up standards. Yeah, that's
given
true.
The position he's in. Yeah. And as you said, sure, there would have been, like, I'm sure there's loads of questions he asked that are totally to do with what the person says and him reacting to that. But there's got to be a certain amount of preparation.
Yeah, and well, so there must have been, I suppose, maybe the big thing that I had with it all was not really him, or it's this culture now that, say somebody says one thing wrong, and because of how easy it is on the internet, with trolls and people putting their fucking status up, everybody comes out with a knife and I kind of think, well, maybe it's good as long as it doesn't get to the point of people feeling, oh, well, I really need to be careful about this here.
Oh, I know what you mean. You still want people to be able to say what they want to say, or that not to have fear.
Not to have total fear, even if it's, you see, I think it could become so PC, so squeezing the life out of things that you can't say the word cunt. You can't say fuck and shit. Well, but you can't. Then obviously you don't need to be hurtful. But it's just that if it does bring, like, expression can be hard, and then if it's an environment where people feel increasingly careful about what they're saying, then people won't say. And maybe it's a good thing in a way, because social media is so shit.
I do agree with that to a certain extent when people kind of say, "I was offended by that."
Yeah.
So what? Like?
So fucking what, like?
Hi. Hi. How you doing?
Which one done?
It's been a little while since I've been to the hairdresser, so I just want to get a little bit off, like.
It's very bad condition, especially at the back here, very bad.
Oh, okay. I just want a little trim, like.
I'd say a good 10 inches you probably need.
Oh.
Just to try and get something out of it for you, do you know what I mean?
Okay.
10 to 12, I'd say, inches off it.
Right. Well, I don't want any layers.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a lot of layers, say around here and around your face, just to try and camouflage your face, just for yourself, just to try and hide some of this face that you have.
And like, if you ever put something up yourself, do you give a fuck when you're writing it, or do you kind of go, oh, I hope this is okay, or do you get that?
With jokes, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Jokes on stage, I would say stuff, and I wouldn't just wanted to get a laugh, and I'm not worried really about offending somebody. No, nobody's actually
it's implied on stage.
Nobody's ever come up to me and said I was really offended about that joke. Like, if it was a good joke and it had been consistently working and somebody came up and said whatever to me that offended me, and my stuff isn't like, it's like it's tame. It's not like I'm saying all this magic, like people come up. But I'd say, oh God, that's terrible, or whatever, whatever the right reaction would be. But I wouldn't stop doing that joke. Yeah, and I wouldn't apologise for doing that joke. Like, okay, I wouldn't do anything about dead children or something or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I know people that do have jokes about stuff like that. But I wouldn't be dark.
Yeah.
But I still at the same time I don't think. Well, I don't know. Whatever.
But if you wanted to do it, you wouldn't stop it for the fear of
that wouldn't
offending,
be in my head when I'd be writing something or working on a joke or whatever. In terms of writing, no. To be honest now, the only thing that would ever enter my head in terms of offending, but it's not even a question of offending, it's just for people's ears to listen to. And now it's different on stage, but in videos and writing, I would only curse if I felt like it added to it.
Yeah.
Whereas in real life, I would more use it as punctuation and whatever. But sometimes in writing and in videos, it can come across as being very harsh.
Yeah.
So that would be the only thing, I think. I don't think I'd be worried about offending somebody.
Yeah.
And I have had people annoyed about videos and message me.
Have you?
Yeah, like the one which was the most controversial, which I was surprised about, was the one I did about hairdressers.
Okay, go
and
on.
I took the piss out of hairdressers. But I always build it up like...
Is it their conversation? Or
no, it was like, how to be a great hairdresser. So I said, make sure you make them wait for ages. Don't listen to anything they say. Just
talk at them when they're trying to relax. No?
Yeah, do whatever the fuck you want to their hair. Like, don't listen to them. All this shite, right? Totally, as I saw, a bit of harmless fun. And I got all these hairdressers writing on the page going, how dare you? Do you know how long you the fucking cheeky you and all? And then people, so that was all okay. And then somebody came in and said, yeah, well, her hair is pretty fucking basic. And I was like, whoa. Step the fuck back, mate. So I just said to them, I said, look, it was just one experience I had, like, whatever.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, was it? And then that was the end of it. And I have had other people making comments, and I'm like, well, don't like and follow the page. I was like, just don't follow it.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do you want me to do?
Right, well, I've been growing my fringe out for ages, and I just like to, get some soft layers around my face.
Yeah, I think for you what we'd do is we'd get a nice short, thick fringe. Just take away from that big nose and the little beady eyes. They're quite beady.
No. I've actually been told by my boyfriend I have lovely big eyes.
They always tell the chubby ones that, don't they?
Chubby?
Well, send them for a quick ride, isn't it?
Okay.
Well, we might, because we might get you back sometime. But obviously, we could keep fucking chewing the good, like. I
know, yeah.
That
scone was great, wasn't it?
It was a lovely scone.
What did you have in the end?
I had the pan of chocolat.
Oh yeah, good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was hoping to have that now, but you didn't have the bit of jam.
No, I didn't. But it had raspberries in it, so I thought.
Yeah. Okay, I'd go for the extra.
I mean, it is only Wednesday. If it was Friday, I might have.
You go all out, like. You would have had the bigger one.
Oh yeah, the fucking that one. You need to cut that in 3, really.
You can convince yourself it's 1 though, can't you? You can lie to yourself. That whole discussion, that's just one. Just said 1 scone.
Or just had like 1 glass of wine or whatever, yeah.
Have you any gigs coming up?
Yeah, I'm always gigging. I've one on Sunday anyway, and then in the Inter this month at some stage, and yeah, I'd always have one. I'd always have at least 1 a week anyway, but I'm usually have a few. So keep checking.
And video videos.
I still do videos
once a week. It's not once a week though. I've noticed. It's less, is it? Is that
yeah. Well, no, I started doing videos with a friend of mine now.
Yeah.
So we've done a couple.
So the recent one was the text back, or one of the recent ones. Yeah.
So that girl is Julie J. She's a comedian as well.
Okay.
So we're good mates. So like what we were talking about earlier on, we just started kind of doing some sketches together, just
for the crack.
Just to have fun and whatever.
You must have fun crack, like the two of you.
Oh yeah.
You must take a good few goes. But there must be laughter, like.
But you never know, because sometimes it's stuff at the time is hilarious, and then you do it and you're like, oh, this is just us laughing. You know that thing I hear actors and whatever saying, did you know? Do you know that thing they say, oh, did you know? So funny, and people are like, oh, we just knew it was going to be fucking hilarious.
That's
and
bullshit,
I think, well, for me, I don't have a clue, because I can do something with somebody and we'll think it's fucking hilarious and we'll be dying with laughter, and then nobody's interested when you put it up and you're like, oh, who knew? And then you do something where you're like,
oh, I don't know about that, and then people really like it. Tip number 2, if you have any food in the house that you're not kind of sure if it's fresh or edible, give it to your baby, because they will literally eat anything. It's so handy. They're so good for that.
Yeah, the last thing I was going to say to you was, when you were talking earlier, it was just about this idea of how far you can, we were talking about whether you offend or not offend or all that. Ricky Gervais's view on comedy is that you push it to the max of offending and then go one step further. That's his approach now. Yeah. But I think it's an interesting sort of idea, or at least assess the idea of what's the furthest you can go with that. I think that's interesting.
That's what you have to do with stand-up.
Right.
Because even a lot of the jokes I tell would be like reveal. It's only because somebody told me this is what I do. I didn't know. It's just because my sense of humour. But I'd say, one thing and then lead them somewhere else.
Yeah, okay.
So, that's the whole part of the joke or whatever. Oh, yeah. So say, like, for example, I say, this is a joke, I say, I have 3 kids and I could never pick a favourite. That's such a ridiculous question, haha. And then I say, I'm going to leave that as a big surprise in the will. So that's the joke. And then we show them that part.
Yeah, okay.
So, but if I did a joke in writing, I don't have to go as far.
Yeah.
But you have to go further in stand-up to get the laugh, in my opinion, because you're asking people to laugh out loud.
Yeah, okay.
At you. It's not in a conversation with their friend, or it's not over bonding or shared experience or whatever. You're asking them to laugh at you. So my thing is that, like, if I'm doing a joke, I have to take it a bit further with stand-up. Oh, actually, this is a good example. You're like, this is so boring, Emma.
It's not.
I had this story which was true.
Yeah.
That when I was like 13, maybe 12, but in the stand-up version I say 13 or 14 to kind of make me a bit sadder. But my friend asked me, was I a frigid? And I said no, and I didn't know what it meant, but I knew it was a bad thing. So that when we were teenagers, a frigid was somebody who hadn't French kissed. Did you have this word?
Frigid, I totally know, but it's basically somebody she wouldn't give you, wouldn't. Oh fuck, what's this? Who's this? I'm not going to answer that, obviously. Just trying to, keep it going without. Sorry, keep going there, go on, yeah.
Oh yeah, so when we were growing up, a frigid was somebody.
She wouldn't put out like. You might be lucky to get a kiss.
Us, it was like you hadn't French kissed anyone, and you weren't a frigid when you'd French kissed. So somebody'd obviously taken the original meaning and put it into this.
Okay.
But I didn't know, so I just said no. Of course, I'm not a frigid. And then she started asking me, well, who is it? And then I started to cop as the conversation went on. I was like, shit, I'm gonna have to give details. So I just said, oh, this fella Simon. He lives on my road. Oh yeah. And then I was like, right, that's done. That's that lie over. And then her next door neighbour knew the fella Simon. And I was like, oh yeah, no, definitely it happened. And I'm like, shit, I didn't think anyone knew.
You French kissed now.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so it was as innocent as French kiss.
Yeah, and he's a couple of years older. So I'm like, shit. So she went off and asked him, oh, like, Emma, you and her.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, what the fuck are you talking about? Because he's a couple of years older.
Yeah.
Which is big when you're that age.
Yeah.
And she's like, I was talking to him, he said, like, no, like, never fucking happened at all, Emma. And I was like, he's full of shit. I can't believe you do that to me. So for stand-up, I changed it to, I said the whole story and da-da-da-da-da. And then I say, at the end, I say, but even after he was convicted, I never came clean. And I say, so, do you know, I have to take it further.
Okay,
so if I was writing that story, and I did write it.
You embellish and add on.
Yeah, when I was writing the story, I could get away with keeping the story as it was.
Yeah.
You know, that was funny enough for people. And they're like, oh my God, I did this as well.
It's humorous, but for the laugh out loud.
Interesting for the explosion.
It's interesting you understand that though. How is that just through time, experience?
Just time, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then sometimes you say something and it completely doesn't work. Because I tried that out first, but I didn't have the punchline.
Yeah.
And I knew I didn't have the punchline.
Yeah, okay.
But I thought, it was just like an open mic gig. I thought, well, maybe if I say it out loud, I'll get there.
Yeah.
I'll figure out what it has to be or whatever. So yeah, that's just the way I would work with stand-up.
other people have different styles of
But
jokes.
to me, that seems
And
to
I'd be
be
gaggy.
a kind of a natural. You have a natural knowing about it, though, don't you? Really?
Well, some people can get away with just telling stories.
Yeah.
But for me, I need to signpost it with punchlines and gags.
Yeah.
I need to have that in my head. But some people get away with telling stories, and they're great at telling stories. And there's no. But it's.
But
not
there obviously
the
probably is
punchline.
little things in there to keep you going in the story,
Yeah.
you know, or is it a little meanders left of centre? Like I remember it was Dylan actually got up and did one, and the guy said to him afterwards.
Yes, Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan did one, and
Yeah.
he got up. Your man said to him, "Really, you've just told a story there. You haven't put jokes in the middle of it. You need to dot that with jokes along the way."
Yes, yeah. Because you can tell a funny story,
Yeah.
but it has to be something more than that to be stand up.
Yeah.
But then I couldn't. If I wrote that down, that would be like, okay, so she got some guy charged with statutory rape, and that's funny. How, like, do you know?
Yeah, it's interesting when you're putting your own voice on something. If you're reading something, you put your own voice in it. But then when somebody says it out loud, you're getting that shock, and you know it's stand up. So
Yeah.
you know it's.
So and I can maybe it's just because I'm not a talented enough writer, but I would find it harder to do like the dark or sarcasm in writing rather than on stage.
Yeah.
So I'd hope that I could let people know that people think that's funny, but nobody comes away thinking that actually happened. That somebody got done for statutory rape because of
Well, I mean, you're always
You
going
know
to have
what I
an
mean?
idiot, though, really. So.
Well, yeah, it's usually
Yeah.
American, but yeah. It just is.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
So you didn't
It's not
just
that they're
just so I
it's
understand
not
it though.
that
That didn't happen.
That
though.
didn't happen.
No,
And
he's
I'm
in
not
prison
saying,
now.
No, but I'm not saying Americans are idiots. But usually, it's a cultural thing about how Irish people understand humour,
Yeah.
and probably other nationalities have taught the same thing about jokes. But it's just the American person is outspoken enough to come and ask you after the gig.
Yeah, maybe there's just
Like,
more.
of course,
I think,
there is a good few of them that are thick, but like if they're
but I
coming
think
to
it is a
Ireland,
case
they're
that they all
travelling,
have
so
great
they're probably-
confidence, stupid or not stupid. They've all great confidence to speak out. So that's why you hear maybe more stupid comments like that from Americans. Is that fair to say? Whereas the Irish,
Yeah.
we're not as outspoken. We're not as confident to feel that what we have to say is as relevant as the Yanks. No.
Well, I don't know an Irish person now that would go up to a comedian after a gig and ask them about the joke. The only person that would come and ask you about a joke after a gig would be somebody who's going to do stand-up themselves.
Yeah.
So you have this horrible thing, you think like they're a genuine fan, and you're like, wow, that's amazing. And then...
That's nice, though, isn't it? No?
No, then you see they're doing a gig next week. And
Oh,
you're
they
like,
went to
they're
naked?
They're not they're
Oh.
not a fan, they're networking. You're like, oh, this is
Okay.
bullshit.
Oh, for fuck's sake,
You
right.
want like a total proper person that's not involved in comedy at all.
Yeah.
If it's someone who started out in comedy, you're like, that doesn't fucking count.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, or people will come up to you and ask you about a joke if I mention a place, and then they'll start asking where you're from. They're like, oh, I'm from around there, or whatever. But I don't know an Irish person that would go up to somebody and critique
Can I
their
just,
joke.
or can I just
to their face.
clarify, when is he getting out?
Yeah, or whatever, yeah.
Simon, if you're
Yeah.
watching this, buddy.
Oh, and
please-
Simon is the real name of the
This is-
guy.
It's actually going to go. What's that?
Simon is the real name of the guy.
Of the guy who.
who I lied about kissing.
Yeah. And you know Simon? No?
I don't know. I know who he is, alright. I don't know what he's doing now.
Okay.
But what can you do? Like when you've been so badly caught out in a lie, you just have to lie more, don't you? When you're 13.
That seems to be the way, yeah.
Yeah.
When you're in the shit, like, you might as well just keep fucking digging into the shit. Anyway.
I know.
All right, thank you very much.
Oh goodness, I better go home. Actually, what time is it?
I have to get the kids.
Yes, so do I. What time is it now?
Hi, if you like the conversation that I just had and you'd like more, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you.